Have you ever had a friend who showed you the brightest parts of life, only to vanish without a trace, leaving you with questions you never got answers to? This is the story of Daniel, the friend who laughed loudly, cared deeply, and made ordinary days feel special. A friend who seemed like the kind of person who would never leave, until one day he did. I met Daniel on a rainy Tuesday afternoon during my first week at university. Everyone else rushed past the storm like they were late for something important. But Daniel was standing under a small tree, laughing at how useless it was for shade. When I passed, he said, "If we stand here together, maybe the tree will try harder." Something about that line instantly made me smile. It was ridiculous, but charming. We ended up walking to class together, soaked, laughing, talking like old friends who had just gotten reintroduced. That was Daniel. Bright, warm, a little silly, but wise in ways people didn't expect. Within a month, he became my closest friend. Daniel had this strange talent for appearing exactly when I needed him. When I failed my first test, he showed up with meat pie and said, "Cry small, eat big." When I was too anxious to submit my project, he sat with me all night, repeating, "You don't need to be fearless, just be here." He was the kind of friend who didn't try to fix your life, he just sat in the storm with you until the clouds felt less heavy. The truth is, I started to depend on him more than I ever depended on myself. But looking back, the signs were there. Sometimes he would zone out mid-conversation. He would smile, but it never reached his eyes. He would disappear for a few days and come back with an apology that felt rehearsed. When I asked what was wrong, he would always say, "Don't mind me, I'm just figuring things out." I should have pushed, but I didn't. He respected my boundaries, so I respected the walls he never let me see behind. It happened on a normal Wednesday. We had plans to meet at the cafeteria. I came early, but his seat stayed empty. I called, no answer. Texted, no reply. Hours passed, then days, then a week. I tried visiting his hostel. His roommates said they hadn't seen him either. His phone was off. His socials were silent. It was as if he had evaporated from the world. At first, I was confused, then worried, then angry. How could someone who felt like home suddenly vanish without a goodbye? 3 months later, I received a brown envelope in my mailbox. No name, no return address. Inside was a handwritten letter. It was from Daniel. He wrote, "I know you're hurt. I know you're hurt. I know I disappeared without offering you the truth. But I hope someday you'll understand I didn't leave because I didn't care. I left because I cared too much to let my darkness spill into your life." He explained that he had been struggling silently for years with fear, family problems, depression he never talked about. He said being my friend was the happiest he had felt in a long time, but the happier he got, the more terrified he became of losing everything. So he ran before life could take anything from him. At the end of the letter, he wrote, "You taught me that people can be kind without wanting anything. I hope I taught you something too. I hope you learned that sometimes the people who disappear aren't abandoning you there, fighting battles they don't want to drag you into." That was the last time I ever heard from Daniel. Losing him hurt. It made me feel empty, angry, confused. But with time, I saw the lesson he left behind. He taught me that people can be smiling and still drowning. Love can exist in silence and in absence. Even the strongest friendships don't always get closure. Some disappearances aren't rejection, they're protection, and most importantly, you cannot save people who don't want to be seen, but you can appreciate the light they brought into your life while they were there. Daniel's absence taught me to check on people more deeply, to ask again when someone says I'm fine, to hold my loved ones closer, and to give grace to those who quietly disappear. Because sometimes their silence is a scream we just can't hear. Please subscribe to this channel and hit the bell button to get notified whenever I post a new episode of meimatales.